Welcome to another episode of Tips and Tricks for the Bride and Groom on the wedding day. I am Laurie, I'm from REMA MEDIA. I do wedding films for REMA MEDIA. This is my friend Joel here. He is from Parry Wedding Films.
All right.
So if you like this type of videos and in the end decide to go with one of us, you can check out his website below and my website below. But in this video, we'd like to talk about top table placements and random objects in your wedding day. So basically, when we film videos, and actually this is for photographers as well, as a photographer or videographer, sometimes we notice things on weddings that perhaps the wedding couple haven't thought about, because the way they think about is not from the eyes of videographers. So for the whole purpose of this series is to actually maybe give you some ideas to think about. I think actually maybe this would look better later on when we watch it back, things like that. Last night we were filming a wedding in Greece, and the top table was seated or put in a place where we thought, why is it there? As you can see in some of the B-roll over here, there's this massive fire exit or fire box next to the table. And I don't think the venue, neither the bride and the groom, are actually thinking about what does it look later on video. But as we've set up the cameras and we know the speeches are going to happen there, it just looks like, what's that in the corner? Like, why is that in the shot?
Yeah, and that's often the case. Like, often when you're looking with your own eyes, there's things that you don't really clock. You just take that as part of the scenery. But as soon as you put a camera there, as soon as you look through the lens, there's things to us as videographers that just stick out like a sore thumb, and we can't unsee them. And I think often, like with venues, there's small details like a fire exit sign that actually you don't notice it when you're looking around it, but actually when we're looking through the lens of a camera, it's really distracting, and to us it kind of diminishes the quality of the film. It doesn't look quite as professional as it could, and we're all about the details. And the excellence going the step above what we need to do. And I think for us, it's those kind of details that really set us apart from other videographers, and that's what we're really always looking for when we're looking at venues. We can do our best to capture the day, but sometimes there are things in the venue that we thought, oh, if we did it again, we would have changed that. And it wouldn't change like the way that the bride and groom would like to see the day, or the way that, it wouldn't ruin their day, but just like maybe swapping this table a little bit that way would completely add just a tiny little bit for their film, to make it more fairy tale or cinematic, and more, I guess, professional. Is it the professional right way? Probably, yeah. Because, in a film set, they're going to make sure that there's nothing in the set. Yeah, totally. And we pride ourselves on it looking cinematic. That cinematic effect is actually almost dream-like, like you said. And you wouldn't see that on a film set. And your wedding isn't a film set, but we really, in the way that we try and capture it through the lens of the camera, we try and do our best to get rid of any distractions that don't need to be there.
So do you have any other examples of objects that you've noticed people leave in weddings, or things that later on you look back on the footage when you're editing thinking, wow, why is this there?
Yeah, all the time. One of them which you have no control over is, fire exit signs above the doors. Everywhere. Like, you walk through a door, we film that, and it's ruined by a green fire exit sign. But one that I've noticed a lot is actually not in the venue, but during your preparations. Like when you're filming the bride getting ready, or the groom getting ready, and usually it's somebody's house, sometimes it's a hotel room. We do it in all different environments, but because you're quite relaxed, I often find that there's items around the place that you just can't film, that just don't sit quite right. So I don't know, often we come in, don't we, when they've just had breakfast, so there's toast and pots of jam and cups of tea all over the place, and you're trying to get this beautiful shot of the makeup going on, and then just a little bit out of focus in the background, you've got a packet of Walker's crisps or something like that. I don't know if you've found that with weddings that you've done.
Yeah, definitely. We can work with that. We've worked with that. If there was a choice, we would get much more from the room if it wasn't messy. I've done one wedding. I'm not going to show any B-roll here. The groom was getting ready in a room where it felt like someone's thrown a grenade in the room. There was loads of clothes all over the place and things like that.
So difficult.
Which actually, do you know what? Like, if I was the groom, I wouldn't even I probably wouldn't think about that.
Yeah, good point.
Because like my wife, we're both married. My wife would be probably the one who like thinks about that, like the little details in the end.
Oh, actually, one more object that we've both experienced, and it's not one that you're thinking of, is chewing gum. And I'm not talking about chewing gum like underneath the table when people are chewing gum.
Yeah.
Is that an object? That's an object, right? It's inside somebody's mouth. And I just think, on photo, you can get away with it.
Yeah.
So in video, I feel like there aren't many things that are as unattractive as chewing gum and a beautiful bride getting her hair done, looking absolutely stunning, and just that jawline going on the side. And we film in slow motion, and 9 times out of 10, it looks amazing.
Yeah.
Chewing gum in slow motion, nah, not about that. So I'll walk into a bride prep room and I'll say, if I can see a packet of chewing gum, I just say, just a reminder that doesn't look too good on video.
Do you think this is a place where we should go into also in the ceremony and talk about phones and tablets in ceremony?
Yeah, they're objects.
Yeah, because often it can happen that, you know, people feel like they need to take pictures on ceremony and just like capture it for themselves. In a way, I understand it, right? But just like from now the videography and photography point of view, you know, we have been hired for the day to kind of capture these photos for the bride and for you guys, for the bride and groom and for the families actually, because you know the photos get shared with the families and you know, if they want access to it, we're not like restricting it only for the bride and groom. Everyone who wants the photos or video, they can have them, do you know what I mean? Because it's already paid for. So when we're in the ceremony, when like, for example, the vows and the first kiss, you get like these phones coming out, especially when the bride walks down the aisle. I think that's the like, everybody.
So many phones.
Even iPads. I've seen iPads, you know, like coming with an iPad.
Yeah.
But it's so easy to actually just announce something before the ceremony.
Yeah, definitely.
And then suddenly it just looks so much better on video and photo.
Yeah, and guests totally respect that. Maybe a couple of years ago, people would have been like, what? You're telling me not to take photos? But it's quite common now.
I think it is, yeah.
For the officiant to say at the start, the bride and groom have asked if you wouldn't take any photos till after the ceremony. And it helps your guests to be present. To be like available. That's the whole point of there, is to celebrate it with you, and not through a phone screen. That's our job. That's what we're getting paid to do. And so leave that to us. Leave the filming and the photos to us. And that's a really good tip. Having somebody announce at the start, please don't take any photos or videos in the ceremony.
So I guess this is like the conclusion for this episode, is that just trying to enlighten maybe some of the videographers and photographers' view how we see the wedding day, and how just like simple things can add to your wedding film when you actually get the product, you know, the photos or the video for your, you know, wedding. I'm not saying that you should start and taking the fire extinguishers out from the venue you know, take the exit signs off. Not that. We're just talking about things that you can change.
Right.
Just thinking about maybe where the top table is going to be placed, you know, is it going to be like nearby any exit signs? If you can center it to the room, you know, move it somewhere where it isn't like near things. I guess that's the point. And just looking at it, like thinking if you would take a photo or video of that place or that thing, what would happen, or wherever it's happening, would something be annoying you? Would there be something in the way that could be moved? That would make a massive difference for the video.
Yeah, you're right. And like Lowry said, we'll work with whatever we're given.
Absolutely.
We make it look great, but you make our life a lot easier if you've already thought about that. And you know what's important to you, it's important to us. And we'll try our best to capture the day in the best detail that we can.
Yeah. Okay. I hope this video is helpful for you and just enlightened some things that you might have not thought about on the wedding day. Feel free to check out some other videos on the playlist. And if you're from the Chester or North Wales area, check out Joel Parry wedding films. Thanks guys for watching. I'll see you soon.
See ya.